Hello my beautiful people. So I just want to do some kind of welcome to my humble abode. I just want to do some notes on the coming Venus retrograde, and it's actually going to start tomorrow on the 5th of October. So depending on where you are, because you'll be getting these early, you know, I like to get them out for you in advance. So let's talk about this. One of the things that I kind of really feel is worth mentioning, I haven't done Venus retrograde specials for everybody, and the reason I didn't do them is because we're saturated with them. Everybody's talking about it. If you haven't seen it, go to my website, www.reydiantreality.com. That's R-E-Y, not R-A-D. And on there, I've put, there's a blog post that's called, you know, that's all about the Venus retrograde. Have a read of it. I think it will give you some insight, some understanding, some background, some context as to what might be happening, how it might shape up, and all that good stuff. Now, that's why I haven't done the Venus retrograde specials, because like I said, not only are we saturated with them, it's one of the things that everybody's talking about. It's on everybody's lips. But there's a few things with astrology that I really want to get across to people, that I really want to hit home to people. You know, some of the really good astrologers out there really hit this home to me, you know, and I'm still learning. I still have a very long way to go on my journey of understanding astrology, you know, and it's like tarot. The journey of understanding and learning is never truly done. You just get to a place where you're competent and proficient. Now, the Venus retrograde will be happening, like I said, on the 5th of October, which here is in the UK where I am is tomorrow. For some of you, it will be, you know, the day after, just because of the time zone thing and whatnot. So, you know, whatever day it happens for you, I'm just trying to get this out in advance. What is important and what you need to remember, all things in terms of astrology, are qualities of moments in time. So when Venus officially goes retrograde on the 5th of October, that specific day, so tomorrow, I personally will be paying attention to what happens on that day. Remember, just like your own star chart, an event chart, a synergy chart, whatever it is, you look at that chart and you are looking at a picture of a moment in time of where the planets are at any given moment in time. And what you're looking at is the quality of life that that event, person, thing, you know, launch, you know, I did a chart for my website launch, which is why I launched on the day that I did and at the time. And if you see it, it's not, a lot of people will be like, oh, I've checked out your chart and it's not very good, and there are some challenging aspects to it, but I specifically chose the challenges that I wanted, and I specifically chose those because I was aware that I was looking at a moment in time, and having the understanding that I'm looking at a moment in time, I can anticipate what is going to unfold over the lifetime of the thing that I created, of the, you know, the website that I launched at the specific time. So when Venus goes retrograde tomorrow, pay attention to what happens tomorrow. Pay attention to the relationships that you've got and what happens in them, the dynamics of them. You know, Venus is going retrograde in the sign of Scorpio. This is all about the power dynamic. It's about what you truly, Scorpio, what you truly desire. What is at the bottom? What are your deepest motivations in the core of who you are? Venus, what do I value? So she's actually amplifying that retrograde to relook at something, reassess, re-examine, redo if need be, in the sign of your deepest and, you know, most held and sometimes even darkest and taboo desires. Venus is going to ask you, what do you truly value here? What do you truly value at that level? And that's what's going to help you understand what your motivations are, where they come from, what is truly driving the decisions that you make based on what you actually value, as opposed to what you think you value on the surface. Remember, we're out of Libra, we're in Scorpio now in terms of Venus. She'll retrograde back into Libra, and I feel, because it is You know, there's definitely going to be some obsessive behavior going on for all of us. I can't even tell you, you know, I'm like looking at it like, ooh, because I know myself. I know what my my moments are and my triggers. Like, one of the things I do is bite my nails. That's one of my obsessive behaviors. You know, and sometimes it's yeah. Anyway, enough of that. But you see my point. If you know what your triggers are and whatnot, you'll be able to anticipate that more. So tomorrow, pay attention to your relationships, what happens in your relationships. Pay attention to the things and the people that you're drawn to. Pay attention to what it is that you feel urged to acquire. Remember, Venus rules money, it rules acquisitions. It's the, excuse me, the lesser benefic, you know, and it's all to do with what we value, what our monetary values are, what our financial state is, you know, mentally, emotionally, actually, physically and materially. It rules all of that stuff. So really be conscious, really pay attention to what's happening. And the reason I've put this prelude in to all these weekly videos is because this it's happening now. And if you can pay attention to especially what happens on the day of when the retrograde starts, it's going to give you an idea of the quality of what that entire retrograde season is going to be about for you, is going to deliver to you. And remember, we always have a choice. We co-create our destinies. Things aren't done to us. They are done with us. And, you know, and in terms of that stuff as well, sometimes the universe takes you to a certain point because you need to make a decision. And if you don't make a decision, unfortunately, like any rule of procrastination, if you don't jump, you'll be pushed. That's how it works. You know, so think about it, pay attention to what's happening, be observant, you know, ultimately be observant with yourself on a really deep internal level. You know, listen to what comes up for you on the inside and pay attention and observe all of the stuff that happens externally, because in that is going to give you sort of, you know, the way that this is going to shape up for you. I'll talk about this more as well as we go forward, because, and this is the other thing that I really want to hit home to people as well. No transit lasts a day. You know, I mean, some of the aspects last a day, and, you know, in that respect, but their effects tend to be felt longer than they actually last in some respects. The eclipses, for as an example, they happen on a specific day, but they take 3 to 6 months to unpack and to assimilate into our lives. Like, some of the stuff that's happening for us now is off the back of the eclipses that we've had. You know, so be aware, be alert, understand what is taking place, you know, and more importantly as well, especially given the fact that it's a Venus retrograde, be gentle with yourself, be gentle with others. You know, this isn't going to be as hardcore as some. It will definitely be driving those obsessions for sure. I don't think it will be as hardcore as what we've had to deal with over the summer and, you know, the course of this year. So with all that said, waffling over, I really hope you enjoy your week ahead videos, and you'll be able to find all the good stuff that I talk about on there. Take care, and I'll see you very soon. Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead Tarotscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So if you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share and hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subbie, thank you so much for all of your continued support. It truly means the world. If you would like to donate to the channel, you can do so on the link below, and you can also book a personal tarot reading with me on the website address below, which is www.reydiantreality.com, and that is spelled R-E-Y, not R-A-D. With all of that said, I would like to bless both of these decks with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's see what your destiny card is for the week, the overarching theme for the week ahead. You've got one popped out straight away, and it is the Emperor, your direct opposite in the zodiac. So your destiny card this week is basically saying you need to be strong, you need to be bold, and you need to stand in your power. You need to stand up for your own authority. So when you get the Emperor card, this is very much, and I always say this to people, the thing about the Emperor is the final decision has to be yours. The final word has to be yours, Libra. And this week you are it kind of feels to me like you're drawing the line in the sand and saying, this is where this stops, and this is where I stand up. That's the feeling that I get from this, because the Emperor is always about demonstrating your authority, but it's also about you being committed to what your own vision for your life is in any way, shape or form. It could be in your relationships, it could be in your work or whatever. This is about you being committed to what your vision for something is, and it to me feels very much this week you are not having any of it. This week Libra is not here for it. You guys are saying, this is the line that I'm drawing and I'm standing right here. And actually the words that I'm hearing formulate in my head are, give me one firm spot on which to stand and I shall move the earth. And one of the famous philosophers said that, and you know, it's interesting as a saying, because that very much to me talks about, you know, standing in my power. And you know, that whole the image that I have in my mind is, you know, that there's a school of thought that says if you've got 10 people and one of them steps out and says, I'm doing this and I'm going with this because I believe it firmly 100%, the other 9 will actually follow suit. This week, Libra, that is you. You are drawing the line, you are sectioning off your firm spot on which to stand, and you are going to move your own personal earth with it. And that's what it kind of feels to me like. You're making a stand this week, and you will not back down. You will not be moved, and you will not be budged. Good for you. Stand in your power, you know, own it. Absolutely own it. So your direction card, how does this shape up? What the context is? What is likely to be the best way that you can achieve it? 6 of Wands, I mean, beautiful. This card is a mini victory, a mini success. And this kind of tells me, in terms of anything that you decide to commit yourself to, especially this week, you come out on top. And by standing your ground, by standing in your power and saying, no, you know what? I believe this enough to back it up, and if need be, remember that Emperor represents Aries, if need be I will fight for it. You know, that doesn't necessarily mean like a physical fight, but you know, sometimes it's the act of fighting for something, to say no, I'm standing with this and I'm staying and I'm sticking with it, and nothing is going to allow me to back down. This week, if you do so, if you draw this line, if you stand in your power and say, I'm doing this and I'm having none of whatever it is, you come out victorious, you come out on top. The 6 of Wands basically says you have a celebration. For those of you that are dealing with anything legal or anything contractual at this moment in time, by sticking to your guns on what it is that you ask to be changed, or how it is, or you know, it kind of feels to me like you said, right, no, this is how it needs to be. For me to be on board, for me to be involved, for me to be a part of this, it has to be like this. And up until now, I kind of feel like it's been quite silent. Well, I can tell you that this week, by standing that ground and waiting, they will come to you. You don't need to go to anybody. It will come to you. Stand firm in your power. Stand strong in the decision that you have made. Libra, I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself. Have an amazing week. Let me know how this shapes up for you over the coming week. Take care, and I will see you very soon for more videos.